Another champion that hasn't had a game in a long while, Warwick. And yes, the team battle normal game, which one with friends that I have to carry and stuff. Yay. Stick 2. So, attack speed red, attack speed quints, armor yellow, magic resistance blues, and 2190 masteries. You can tell I have a lot of attack speed, especially when I use my W, it just gets crazy. So I start red because I have the idea that, Evelyn will try to gank top. And I do warn my Riven teammate, probably be careful about Evelyn coming, very easy to gank here. And what do you expect? Evelyn just comes in and ganks her immediately, so just give up trying to counter gank Evelyn. Though I do try to invade her and see if I can catch her here and kill her with red buff, but alas. By the way, she has teleport, so I'm not really that afraid of her. If I get on top of her with the red buff, I'm pretty damn certain I would eviscerate her. So, anyways, people are like, so is Warwick good or is he bad? He's one of the best, worst champions in the game. In a way that, he has a really great support feature in his W. It's really hard to 1v1, and his ultimate is really great at just making sure someone dies. But yeah, he, as a jungler, or even as a laner, he's got a lot of weird matchups. As a jungler, he really, really just can't do anything until level 6. So a lot of things could happen. Like, you see, Evelyn has already kind of gone to town to my teammates. So it's like, I can't help you. I really just can't. I want to, but you guys are on your own until you get level 6. Fortunately for me, I reach level 6. And with Boots of Mobility, I am able to gank bottom lane. See, look, I just ignore Braum. They don't have a ward here, and I don't have to worry about him. I just flash, get the Vayne, but unfortunately, she gets away. However, compensation here. Evelyn jumps at us. And remember that whole Evelyn can't win a 1v1 fight? Well, in this case, yeah, she really just can't. I'm actually still beefy and strong enough. I just dive her ass. It's like, there's nothing she could do. And if Braum tried to fight me, he'd die too. So yeah, for Warwick, one of the cool things about Warwick is just the amount of sustain you have in a fight. You can get kited easily, yeah, but if you end up just duking it out with someone, you'll heal yourself up throughout the fight. Remember what I said about Evelyn or a lot of junglers? A lot of them are really only strong if they surprise somebody. You come from behind and you shove it up their butts. But if you try to shove it in from the front, it's just you end up doing a sword fight with dicks. And Warwick's got the biggest one of them all. So yeah, you cannot 1v1 a Warwick. And it's sort of that the enemy team should have realized that at some point. But as just spoiler alert, that's going to happen. So, Madred's Razor, yes. There's no jungle item with the Spirit Stone line or the Quill Coat that is actually that great on Warwick. So, Madred's Razor and Regal's Lantern for the Pharaoh Flare. By the way, I ulted Evelyn as soon as possible. Not, when I got there because I needed a CC here. I knew Azir would kill Maokai before then, and I was hoping to protect Azir. By the way, here though, it's just I died because I dove and Azir couldn't keep up with me. And then Azir screws up so much here, he dies to the Evelyn. It's really sad and embarrassing. So, either way, Warwick, yeah, remember what I just said. Bad pre-6, slow clearing speed, single target kind of thing. Hyper sustain, yeah. And his level 6 is menacing, and it's really great when you have some cooldown reduction because its cooldown is very low. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. That's all there really is. A lot of people will say other things like Warwick is a horrible fighter, which is retarded. Warwick does no damage, which is stupid, and all sorts of things. But they just don't get the point. It's just you have to sort of tailor a team to accept him, and in most cases, tailoring a team to accept him and accommodate him, or benefit from what he gives his team, it takes more effort, and honestly will force you to make some champion pick choices that you may not really want in your team. Like, imagine this. Imagine if my team had nobody that benefited from the attack speed that much. My W would be wasted, right? What if my team had very, very weak laners? Then my need to farm to level 6 would be a very huge risk that my team wouldn't want to take. So it's not that Warwick is just complete garbage. It's just that if you want to make him work in most scenarios, or in most, let's just say, serious scenarios, you need a team that will benefit from him. Otherwise, there's just so many other picks you could have made. Warwick's level 6, when he grabs on somebody for 3 seconds and suppresses them, that's great and all, but a lot of other champions can do that in a much weaker variations, but without bringing in so much other baggage. Like Maokai, he can, snare somebody and then Q them, and that's around like 2 seconds of them being pinned down. And it doesn't require the ultimate, so he can do it much earlier. He's a lot safer in the jungle, and he's got other supportive qualities that kind of work for every team comp. His ultimate and stuff. Uh, then there's what's called Lee Sin, who can pretty much do everything, kill everybody. Elise, who can gank pretty sick, who can hyper sustain herself, who's got really great builds and all that stuff. It's just, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. It's just he's overshadowed. He's cursed with an ult designed. Like if those other champions didn't exist or weren't as good as they are, Warwick would probably still be king. But it's just he needs an update of some kind. Maybe making his E give him some sort of attack speed boost, or his Q applying a slow of some sort or whatever. It's just small changes like that could help out his viability. He's just old, antiquated. Remember back then in the first season or in the beta or whatever, most champions they had one like utility ability and one ability that didn't do anything, and then like one offensive ability. Think of Master Yi. He had one healing ability, one steroid, one alpha strike, and then his ultimate did something. Um, the mages were usually the ones who had all functioning abilities of some sort. And then, they had all these checks and balances. Look at Tryndamere. He had what? A spin that you didn't really use offensively. You still don't use offensively. Had an AoE slow, and an AoE attack reduction, a steroid heal in his Q, and an ultimate. It's just the old melee design. You get what I mean? All the like how even Xin Zhao, whatever you call him, on release, all he had, even though he was strong at release because the cooldowns, the numbers were dumb. His Q was just a sort of steroid on it. Yeah, it had a knock-up at the end, but still, his W, a self-heal, but also attack speed steroid. His E, a simple slow AS, range slow, targeted, that kind of stuff. And the ultimate was an AoE thing that didn't really do much. So, yeah, and I'm not talking about the commentary, but it's just kind of important for you guys to know. All the other champions, like Master Yi, even Tryndamere, and let's call it, what was the other one? Xin Zhao, they all got updated at some point. But Warwick never really has been updated. I mean, yeah, they gave him a new passive in a way, like a new passive at some point, but he still just needs a rework. So no matter what you do, Warwick can either be incredibly strong because everybody else got weaker, or because they overbuffed his ass. And remember, it happened when he got an indirect buff through the Pharaoh Flare line, or he can get a rework. It's much more reasonable just to give him a rework and have more things to work out with, more things to fix and change or whatever. So Warwick's not bad. He's just obsolete. He's antiquated, and to make him work, it requires more effort from your teammates than what is probably necessary. I'll reiterate that again just to make it clear. Like, your teammates have to adapt their playstyle. They have to adapt their choices in order for Warwick to be a good pick. But in all honesty, you could have probably saved yourself that trouble and just picked somebody else who could emulate him, or someone who was probably just going to do this, a better job or can do more things. So, yeah. I mean, the one good thing that Warwick can do is just pretty much bitch slap anybody in a fight. Hell, even this Vayne, she couldn't do anything, and I just kind of eviscerated her. Though, Vladimir is going to show up down bottom soon. I think, yeah, there he is, bottom there. And I felt we could have killed him. I'm gonna die in this little scuffle here. But the Lux misses, he misses two abilities, I believe. That one hits, and then misses her ultimate, and not enough to kill him. So I die. Lux runs away. Yeah, by the way, it's an AD carry Lux. Lux runs away, and then Evelyn and whoever is there is going to pretty much turret dive him. And then she dies. So either way, you can tell in this game it's kind of going both ways. The enemy team has a good advantage, and we're kind of struggling because some players are kind of doing some odd things and picking some things for the first time in the universe. Either way, though, as Warwick You can already see I have some bloody good damage now. I finally completed Feral Flare, slower than I would have wanted, but it's still better. You're still going to get it at some point because you don't want to get the Spirit or the Quill Coat line. And I have the Rune King for damage. After that, I'm building Randuin's Omen and Spirit Visage so I can, survive and do cool shit. So, off we go to the enemy jungle. My goal in every fight now is to ult either Vayne or Evelynn and make sure they die before they get to cause any terror. Because the rest of the enemy team, they can't do anything. Like, they're all kind of supporting. Even Vlad is supporting. He drops down his aids and then everybody else sort of follows up and kills everybody else. The enemy team, though, is pushing out, so we are forced to go home. But then, I think it's where it happens. Watch this. Vladimir stays with relatively low health, and there's no teammates around him. So I just jump him. What's the worst he can do? Pull out of the way? No. He's going to try to pull, and I'm just going to kill him. Everybody seems to be buying a Quicksilver Sash, but or looking to buy it, but nobody's going to make any good use of it. Then we catch two of their teammates off, but most of my team burns a lot of their ultimates, and thus, the team, all it cost them is a flash. So I think we came out worse in that exchange. Here we're trying to, pick at the tower, and no one's really fully committing, so we're forced to go home. My teammates take too much damage, and they respawn. So right now we're trying to run away. We get caught. I turn around to fight the Evelynn because I figure if I can kill her at least, then we won't be as in a bad position. But alas, my teammates get chased down and, murdered. What's her face? Mermaid Chick ends up guiding Vayne to the top here. My ultimate's off cooldown, so I'm going to decide, you know what? I'm going to kill this Vampire Hunter. I jump at her, start dicing at her. Mermaid Chick dies, and then I go back and then I flash in and kill her. It feels good to be a gangster right there. Like, nobody can 1v1 Warwick. Though, of course, Evelynn missed a memo, and she jumps me, and she thinks she can 1v1 me. She's quickly learning that's a horrible mistake, and she tries to run, but I see her teammates coming, so I just take off. Thankfully, I have my passive up on her, and I still have a movement speed, and I get cover a good distance, and then boost of mobility kicks in. See? Yeah. By the way, I hope you've noticed, they have a tree. They have like a blue assassin chick. They have a vampire. There's a werewolf here, a mummy, and a horse dude. It's like we're playing Darkstalkers right now. We have, a menagerie of the characters from the game. So, as soon as Evelynn got close, I ulted her. She's done. One of the cool things about Warwick is it's very, very sudden. Like, there's very little reaction time to it. Point, click, person's grab. That's it. You can kill them right then and there. Most other CC, you can see it coming and you can react to it. So if there's one good, really strong thing about Warwick's is surprise, surprise, you're here and caught. But here's a good example of our hubris. We're trying to get this turret and we just get our asses kicked. So now we're forced to run away. And of course, their fast teammates like Evelynn are going to catch up to us. Azir dies, Nami dies, and then as a result of that, my teammates cannot defend Baron. So now we're forced to defend. It was a horrible mistake from us, and I made damn sure I blamed somebody not part of the game. It's Foxdrop's fault. So, my teammates recoup. I'm hoping they actually buy items worth buying, like some resistances, or, like me, I bought myself the red trinket just to try to see if I can catch Evelynn and murder her. I put a pink ward in this bush here just in case Evelynn tries to sneak around us and we can see her coming and I can jump her and then I can kill her. Randuin's Omen and Blade of the Rune King will be enough to pin down most characters. By the way, you know what? Just watch this. Just watch. It feels good to be a gangster, doesn't it? Motherfucking Warwick. You can't defeat Twilight, man. Alright, so take out the Wraith camp, of course, push mid. I'm not really that useful without my ultimate, so the best I can do is provide a W. Fortunately for me, Azir really is, really fed, and he makes really good use of my attack speed. I don't know what the Evelynn was doing here, but she decided to die. So Azir is really strong, thanks to my attack speed and during fights. So at least we got that going for us. The rest of my teammates, they can't make good use of my W. But, I picked Warwick first, and they picked whatever. By the way, this is not where it doesn't feel good to be like a gangster. It's like a drive-by, an ambush. I got ganked in the hood, so my teammates, their reaction was kind of piss poor. So they're in a horrible position, and they get jumped on, and they do their very, very best. They could, like no one ever was, and they pretty much get melted here. There goes Azir. Riven jumps in and gets killed. They give chase of Nami and she gets killed. And for whatever reason, they decide to let Lux live. I guess because she's an AD carry, they just kind of decided she's not really worth killing. But anyways, that kind of be a mistake for them. They should just push and win it. Though I don't know if they're trying to win at this point, and I think it's just being choking around. I do think my team comp is far superior because the second we catch anybody important like Vayne or Evelynn, we'll win. Like here, Evelynn is nearby and I knew it, so the second I saw she was there, I jumped there and I popped everything to try to kill her. Vayne jumps in and puts herself in a terrible position, so she pretty much is going to get eviscerated. Although Maokai jumps in and there's nothing he can do. They don't do enough damage to kill me. So Vayne gets killed, Azir gets killed, and now we're all really low health, but we're going to give chase for them anyways. I'm just waiting around trying to get healed by Nami here and then. Maokai gets murdered, Vladimir gets exhausted, and we're just waiting here trying to kill him. He has got this little ring. Boom! Riven dies! And I killed Vayne. Right, you know, the werewolves won in this one. The werewolves get the weird white pale chick in this movie. So, Warwick, super fed, super fun. I do like Warwick. I have fond memories, and you could say some of it is nostalgic, but he's just such of a Punisher champion. It's like, oh, you're in a bad position, time for you to die. Oh, you didn't react fast enough, too bad, you're dead now. Oh, you're trying to 1v1 me, bitch? Like, you know, it's that kind of Call of Duty sense. Anyways, we catch Braum, we're going at him because nobody can respond to it. But watch Vayne. Watch Vayne when she gets close enough. The second Braum dies, I jump her immediately. And that pretty much results in her being pretty much murdered. And of course, she had Quicksilver Sash and she didn't use it. So it's kind of like, I don't know why you bought it if you're not going to use it properly. So we catch the rest of the enemy team. I kill the Evelynn, make sure she dies. And then the rest of us just kind of clean up. I mean, the Maokai and the Vladimir are going to survive. They get to waltz off. But with this, it's pretty much our victory. And I love it. So yeah, if there's any strength that Warwick has when it comes to a team fight, is the zero reaction time. Nobody can respond to Warwick's ultimate. You can't flash out of it. He grabs you, you're doomed. If you don't have a Quicksilver Sash, you're dead. If you don't have oranges, you're dead too. So he's still great for a ganking team. It's just sort of a novelty pick at this point. I can't wait for his rework, but Raya has said nothing about it. Remember to give the video a like and to read the question of the day.